Hey guys, what's up? RossDunneIE, and I'm just about ready for England to shit or get off the pot when it comes to Brexit. The UK has pissed and whinged incessantly for the last God knows how many years about being a part of the EU, simultaneously whinging that the EU is not involved enough in their internal affairs and that it's involved far too much. The British people and the British government whinge incessantly about how the EU is constantly meddling in the internal affairs of the United fucking Kingdom, claiming that the Brussels system is entirely undemocratic and that the EU does not represent British fucking interests. However, very little of this takes into consideration the very fact that the House of fucking Lords exists, an unelected group of appointed nobles who lord over the nation and have significant fucking input in the way the national course is charted. Far be it for me as an Irishman to shit too hard in England's pot, this is nothing more than a national whinge fest, and has been since its very inception. When the euro was first introduced, or at least the idea of the euro was first introduced to the general European populace, the British were the first ones to piss and whinge incessantly about the idea, believing that by taking away the weighty pound coin with which you could use to hit several pigeons on a single swing would ultimately destroy the British identity. But then again, what is the British identity? In my opinion, it's sipping lukewarm cups of piss tea whilst watching EastEnders, whinging about Coronation Street, guffawing over Hollyoaks, and complaining about the good old days when rampant disease was common and the Black Death was killing your Pakistani neighbours. That isn't to say that I don't think the UK has given us some great stuff. The Industrial Revolution was certainly useful, and the invention of most modern medicine isn't something to be scoffed at. But the UK repeatedly threatening to take its toys and go home is something that the rest of Europe is getting bored of. The UK consistently acts like a disgruntled ex-girlfriend on the European stage, and the vast majority of us are growing bored of it now. Various conservative sources inside of the British establishment consistently whinge about the fact that Europe is a source of high immigration for the UK, even though the reality of the situation is that the vast majority of UK immigrants come from previously established Commonwealth states, places like Pakistan, India, and so on. People within the UK are quick to complain that Europe and Brussels as a whole has damaged the notion of the British identity, but in truth, Britain has done a perfectly good job of damaging its own identity with stupid internal policy decisions and a previously unchecked flow of immigration from around the globe. You see, it isn't really Europe's fault that England went on a conquest around the world, a jolly old romp to enslave the rest of the planet, or at least to consume its resources. England is an empire builder, or rather was, and is now upset that the chickens have come home to roost. And from the European perspective, all we witness is a perpetual whinging about an identity which the British themselves have helped to destroy. The intervention of Germany and France has very little to do with the current social state of the UK. And not only that, to add insult to injury, and to expand upon that, there's the perpetual toddler temper tantrum that the UK can't help but throw the minute that someone mentions France or Germany. You see, the UK suffers from a perpetual state of sore winner syndrome. Having historically defeated both France and Germany in war, they can't seem to let it go. The vast majority of English people, in relation to their opinion with regards to their cousins on the continent, seems to be somewhere along the lines of two werewolves and one World Cup, doo-dah, doo-dah. And that's not to mention the astounding national arrogance that the country has as a whole. Ultimately, if the UK leaves, both Europe and the United Kingdom itself will likely not be better off economically. And it takes a remarkable degree of personal privilege to assume that the vast majority of working class people will be able to tolerate an economic hiccup as individuals like Boris Johnson frame it. But what do I know? I'm just a fucking idiot Irishman. Either way, the vast majority of us are now at the point where we feel that the UK should either shit or get off the pot. If you're going to leave the club, get the fuck out and stop whinging about it. And don't let the door hit you on the way out. I'm RossDunneIE. Peace. Hey guys, what's up? RossDunneIE. And if you liked any of the content in this video, why not check out some more of the videos on my channel? And if you really like this video, why don't you hit that like and subscribe button? Follow me on Twitter and Facebook. I can't do any of this without you guys, and hitting up my channel and social media really lets me know you give a shit. With that being said, thanks for your time. I'm RossDunneIE. Once again, peace.